No, Randy, please don't do this.
Randy, don't do this. Please don't.
What's going on YouTube? It's Sensei, a place to be children, Mr. Andy, back with another Raw review. Did you guys miss me? I've been gone for a while because Raw sucked. I mean, actually, Raw sucked during the holiday time, and I was busy doing stuff in my personal life. That's I got to focus on that more than try to deal with the stress of Monday Night Raw. But I said, but you know what? To be fair, I'm going to review the last episodes of Raw, SmackDown, and I know I've been sipping on the Wednesday Night War also, but I haven't not been watching. I just haven't been reviewing them. But to the final, we got to go out on the year strong, okay? So we're going to come back to Raw and let's see what I missed. I mean, obviously there was the TLC pay-per-view and there was the Monday. I planned to do the review after Randy Orton burned the Fiend. I said, that's what he did. Like it didn't lead up to anything special, so I just said, well, fuck it. So, but now it's the end of the year, and now we're going to review Raw, and also there's curiosity because I want to see if WWE was going to do anything for Brody Lee or Luke Harper in their case, and they didn't. And I am very disappointed in that. The thing is, I felt as though that he deserves a 10-belt salute. He's still an active wrestler on the high level, okay. And if you look at Luke Harper in WWE, he was in a tag team in the mid-card level. In AEW, they put him as a top contender. We're still like the upper mid-card right there, going into the main event status. So I know AEW is going to do something for him on Wednesday. And that's probably what WWE was thinking. Like, well, he was in AEW, so they're going to do the 10-belt salute. But they just gave a little, rest in peace to John Herbert, stuff like that. And I'm like, well, he deserves a video package. He deserves, as much as good as everybody has said about him, he deserves them to come out on the stage and do their thing. But they didn't. So I can sit here and complain about it all day. You guys can see my tribute to John Herbert I did on my podcast. I have the snippet up there for you guys and like I said, I want to see what they're going to do for him on AEW as Tony Khan has rewritten the whole show. But Todd Phillips already came out and said, it's Monday, so you know what that means. And Drew McIntyre comes out, starts off his promo, and says, it's Monday, you know what that means. So we got little tributes from the wrestlers for John Herbert / Luke Harper and Brody Lee throughout the whole night. So Drew McIntyre was talking about the end of the year out 2020. Sheamus comes out and says that next week it's going to be him and Sheamus going for that championship, but Sheamus has to get through Keith Lee tonight first. As Keith Lee comes out and says, you know what, Drew, that's your friend Sheamus, and him and Drew are friends, but so he can't be trusted because you said Sheamus is cool, and then Sheamus did bro kicked me last week, and then Drew was just like, it's just Sheamus type thing. Well then tonight they have a match, and the winner is going to face Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship on Legends Night next week. I'm looking forward to reviewing that, right? So as Keith Lee's about to say something, Sheamus broke Keith Lee in the head twice. So now Keith Lee is on Dream Street, and him and Sheamus going to have the matchup. Now they do end up having a pretty good matchup. Keith Lee is reserved. Like I said, I think ever since Keith Lee did that spot over the top rope, he's been reserved a lot. But the match was still pretty good. Sheamus sets the white noise on Keith Lee for a 2 count. Sheamus already thinks he has it in the bag. He tried to go for a bro kick. Keith Lee catches him in a spirit bomb. Pins him. Keith Lee is going to take on Drew McIntyre. Good matchup, even though I already know Drew McIntyre is going to retain the WWE Championship. There's no reason to put it. They're not going to put it on Keith Lee just yet because Keith Lee, obviously they haven't done much to make Keith Lee look dominant on Raw. They kind of messed that whole thing up. I mean, if they made him look dominant and stuff like that, like having win matches and just destroy people on the mid card, the main event level, and jobbers, then I'm like, Keith Lee got a chance to win a championship, and McIntyre wins it back at the Rumble. I don't know, but that's not even happening right now. There's no way McIntyre is losing this one right now. Miz takes on Grand Metal League. The less I say about this match, the better. As Miz is still pissed for losing his Money in the Bank briefcase, Grand Metal League picks up the win here. Elias is playing backstage, and then somebody keeps interrupting him by knocking on the door, so Jackson Riker is not doing his job. He goes and opens the door and almost comes in and stares down Jackson Riker. Great sight. And then AJ says, look, he's trying to listen to Mozart here, and I was trying to think about how I can overturn the results from TLC, and I couldn't think because you're playing all this music in here, or that's what you would call it. So AJ challenges Elias to a match tonight, gives almost a chest bump, which I thought was hilarious, because he had to jump high for that one. Dana Brooke takes on Shayna Baszler. This match was really much of anything. Dana Brooke tries to go for a top rope something, rolls through. Shayna gives her the step up knee and then chokes her out. Wins the matchup. Mandy comes to check on her. She chokes out Mandy for a little bit and then leaves. It wasn't really too much of a build-up kind of thing. Alexa Bliss is in her Firefly Funhouse playground out there with her swing set and her slide, waiting for Randy Orton to answer. So she calls out Randy Orton. His music plays once, and Randy Orton doesn't come out. So she plays Randy Orton again. She says he's not like that. Randy Orton will be out. So then she plays it again, and then Randy Orton does not come out. But then it comes to find out that Randy Orton is in the Firefly Funhouse, and then Randy Orton is in there talking about something. He's sick and sadistic. And you can talk about the Fiend's coming back. I don't want the Fiend coming back, but if he was to come back, I'm gonna show you how sadistic he can be. He started knocking down all the puppets, Huskus the pig, Gabby the witch, and he just takes Ramblin' Rabbit, just pops the head off and everything. So Alexa Bliss challenges Randy Orton tonight. Just says challenged him tonight. So okay, we're gonna get back to that. 85 takes on Elias, which this match was a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. This actually a little bit competitive. It got a little bit of time, but AJ wins with the phenomenal forearm to Elias. So it's a simple, basically Raw matchup. Charlotte Flair is taking on Nia Jax, especially after Nia Jax taking her out through storyline 6 months ago. So of course on this one, Nia Jax is working on the shoulder this whole time during the matchup. But Charlotte's about to come back. She's about to start put the figure 8 on Nia Jax, but Shayna Baszler comes in there and starts choking out Charlotte to cause a disqualification. Then Asuka comes in there, and then they all start fighting, and that's basically how it goes. I kind of jumped the shark here, but Mustafa Ali versus Ricochet. Now, have you recognized they started calling him Mustafa Ali? And I'm just like, is it supposed to be Mustafa Ali now because he's for Retribution, or Mustafa Ali? Like, which way it's supposed to go? Well, these guys, I know they got good chemistry, but it's still, this match was like really much of anything. But the ending was good because as Retribution tries to cheat, T-Bar gets on the apron. Ricochet does a tornado DDT to him on the apron, and it's like his head almost missed the apron, and they kind of like fall to the floor, but his shoulders just catch it. It was like a very dangerous spot between him and T-Bar. Then Slapjack runs with the steel, says Ricochet gives him a front drop kick. And then Mace comes in there. He ducks a clothesline, and then while he rolls over to the other side of the ring, laying on the apron, he ducks another clothesline for Mace, and then kicks him in the chest. And then Mustafa Ali, he goes to the top rope for the shooting star press. Mustafa Ali has knees up and puts him in this choke, and then Ricochet passes out and he wins. So now they want to know the answer: is he going to join Retribution? Ricochet says, "I will." Not, and then they get mad, and he rolls outside the ring, and then so we're still in this Ricochet taking on Retribution type thing, when we even seen him on Raw Talk get emotional about what his run was like this year. 8-man tag team match player, where we got the Hardy Bros and the New Day taking on the Hurt Business in 8-man tag team action. Good matchup. Actually, the matchup I was probably looking forward to the most. Xavier Woods has a Brody Lee armband on and does a tribute to his discus clothesline in the ring, where he does a little stuff like that, blows it out, and then does the discus clothesline. I thought all that stuff was really, really great. The Hurt Business end up picking up the win with Jeff Hardy tries to make a comeback towards Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley flips him up and then catches him in the hurt lock, and then Hardy has no choice but to tap out. But after the end of the match, the New Day, Matt Riddle, and Jeff Hardy all get their little cheap shots into the Hurt Business. So this rivalry is not done yet. The Hardy Bros may come after the tag team championships, who knows? And or somebody may go after the New Day may go after that, and Matt Riddle may go after the United States. I still like the Hurt Business having all the championships until the new year, and even beyond that. I wanted to hold on to the goal for a little bit. I actually wanted to be where Bobby wins the WWE Championship and the MVP has the United States Championship. That joint will be dope. You get a woman in there and they can win a women's championship, and they literally can have the whole roster on lock, but they can't. They're not gonna book that far ahead. Adam Pearce comes back and sees Miz and Morrison on the steps looking depressed, and then he says, "Y'all look more sad than them Cleveland Browns did the other night." Woo, shit. And so B says, "But unfortunately, I'm here to give you back the money to break briefcases. The rule states that you have to cash it in." So Ms. Morrison, they start getting celebrating. They literally do awkward dances up and down the steps, kind of like how Joker did in the movie where he comes down the steps and start kicking and stuff like that. The Miz is doing the same exact thing. Main event time, Alexa Bliss is now going to call out the challenge for Randy Orton, and then she's here and she has a Christmas present for Randy Orton. So she goes out, gets the gift, and unwraps the gift, and it's a gasoline container and then matches. So she says, to do what you did to the Fiend, you do it to me. And Randy Orton just sitting there just looking at her. So then she just draws a little puddle and then puts a line towards Randy and stands there and says, come on, do it. And then so that she goes put like a little ring around herself and everything and tells Randy to do it. And then she says, I just like I thought, you little bitch. Like she tried to egg him on. And then she just takes the whole container, pours it all on herself, and it's like, just do it. I was like, oh my God. And then he says, I want to do it. But see, the only reason why I'm not doing it because you want me to do it. You get satisfaction out there because you get to join the Fiend in hell, something like that. But he said, but you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm listening to that voice in my head. I'm going to do it. He likes the match, and then the whole Fiend lights go off and everything. But then all you see is the match, and Randy Orton holding the match, and it's boiling down. He doesn't toss it or anything like that, but it just goes off like that. And I was just like, what will kind of be crazy is if he tosses the match and you just hear Alexa Bliss scream and you just see fire around Randy Orton. You don't see her get burned, but it alludes that she did get burned. I don't know if they want to go that route on USA. I don't know if they're looking for that kind of dark content. I'm not necessarily sure, but that was Raw. And honestly, Raw was forgettable for the final Raw of the new year. I just reviewed it because it was the final Raw of the new year, and I wanted to make sure I get those last little bit of Raws out the way. So that was Raw for you guys. Raw it's on the borderline. It gets a thumbs down for me. Nothing really special about it. I mean, I did enjoy the Randy Orton Alexa Bliss stuff, and I did enjoy the Hurt Business 8-man tag team matchup. And believe it or not, AJ and Elias actually a pretty decent matchup. But other than that, nothing of any kind of substance. Keith Lee and Sheamus was alright. So, but it still isn't worthy enough for me. Still, a lot of it is forgettable. It's not like saying we're closed out 2020. It's forgettable like the year. We don't even want to think about the year no more. We're going to go past this. That's how I feel about Raw. But post your comments down below. How you guys enjoyed Monday Night Raw? Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review of it. Hit the subscribe button for new Raw and SmackDown reviews going on in 2021. We'll be back here next week to check out Legends Raw. Hopefully have a new setup and everything like that. So once again, it's an NCN place to be. Chill, try to stay in D. And the Nerd Coalition is out.